tonight's presentation, the universe, and everything we lost inside it. The planetarium smelled like dust and cold, plastic seats and stories told, in voices too calm for dying stars, echoing beneath the dark. You sat beside me, half awake, blue light drifting across your face, while galaxies spun overhead like thoughts escaping from the dead. The fake constellations slowly turned above the silence that we learned. And somewhere in that endless dawn, I stopped feeling alone. Child pointed at Saturn's rings, like wonder still meant something. But we just sat there barely breathing, two tired hearts quietly leaving. You whispered before drifting off, I think the moon looks lonelier up close. Then your eyes disappeared in blue, and the darkness swallowed you. I watched the stars move on your skin, like tiny worlds caving in, and every silent spinning light made me afraid of morning time. You fell asleep during the artificial stars, while comets burned across the dark. The universe kept turning slow, like it had nowhere else to go. The ceiling filled with borrowed skies and dying suns and satellite light. But all I wanted in that room was the quiet gravity of you. Maybe we're all just little lights projected briefly into night, trying not to disappear too soon. You fell asleep during the artificial stars. Now every planetarium feels scarred by the shape your shadow made beneath those galaxies of haze. The projector still softly glows for strangers no one really knows. And somewhere in that endless dark, you're still asleep beside the stars. Please exit through the gift shop and mind the universe on your way out. attention skaters. The rink is closing soon, like everything else around here. The ice rink sat beside dead stores, under flickering fluorescent storms. Blue neon melting on the snow, like bruises in the parking glow. Inside the speakers crackled low, playing songs from long ago. You laced your skates with shaking hands, like someone making final plans. Cold white breath around your face, turn the empty into space. And every spinning colored light made you look half gone tonight. The ice rink played our song to nobody, while we circled slow like memory. Two lonely shadows on frozen ground, holding on while spinning down. The disco lights bled red and blue across the ice and over you. And for a moment in that cold, I thought we'd never grow old. A teenage worker swept the snow, from corners no one goes. The vending machines hummed faint and tired, like little frozen funeral choirs. He said, "Do you think places remember us?" I said, "Only the broken ones." Then silence drifted through the rink, thin enough to crack beneath. Your reflection shattered in the ice every time you passed the lights. And somewhere in the freezing air, I felt us disappearing there. The ice rink played our song to nobody, yet it sounded written perfectly for tired hearts beneath weak light, trying not to vanish tonight. Your glove brushed softly over mine, cold as winter's satellite shine. And every turn around the floor made me need you more and more. Maybe love survives like frost, beautiful because it's lost, glittering briefly, then gone. The ice rink played our song to nobody. Now every snowfall follows me, like echoes drifting through the dark, of frozen circles in my heart. The speaker still sings soft and low for all the ghosts beneath the snow. And somewhere under neon white, we still skate through the endless night. Please exit carefully. The ice is thinner than it looks. Route cancelled, route delayed, route forgotten. last bus shelter hummed and blew, cold fluorescent light around you. Rain fell hard beyond the glass, like the whole world rushing past. You stood there in your father's coat, hands wrapped tight around your smoke, breathing ghost into the air, like you were trying to disappear. Downtown flickered far away, a dying machine at end of day. And somewhere in the midnight rain, I started learning your pain. We shared cigarettes under the last bus shelter, while the city froze around us together. Smoke curled up like tide press into the dirty winter air. Your shoulder pressed against my sleeve, like asking softly not to leave. And every passing headlight glow made it harder to let go. Buses used to come before the routes came undone, before the factories closed for good, before this neighborhood lost blood. I watched the rain distort your face into something time couldn't erase. The schedule board above our heads, blinking names of places dead. You laughed and said every silence after that felt heavier than the wet asphalt. We shared cigarettes under the last bus shelter, while thunder rolled forever. The plastic walls shook in the storm, but somehow your hand stayed warm. Empty streets stretched black and white, like nowhere left to hide. And when you leaned into my chest, the rain sounded almost gentle again. Maybe love survives like this, in forgotten places people miss. Two lonely sparks beneath weak light, trying to the last bus again. Route cancelled until further notice. I saw you near the corner store, older than before. Silver threading through your hair, like winter living there. You smiled the way you used to smile, and suddenly 1,000 miles collapsed into a single breath. Between now and then, touched everything we knew, but somehow not the truth. We were young in the neon summer, running wild beneath the thunder, believing love could outlast time, like stars refusing night. We were young and burning gold. Now we speak in softer tones, but somewhere underneath these scars, we still are who we are. We walked beside the fading shore, like we had done before. The ocean carried echoes near of laughter from those years. You told me about the life you made, the children and the nest. I nodded while the sunset bled through all the words unsaid, and every wave against the sand felt like your old hand. We were young in the neon summer, dancing slow with one another. Every promise, every kiss still survives in this. We were young beneath the lights, holding futures in our eyes. Even now the memory glows more than either of us knows. If love can age without a sound, maybe it's still around, living quietly inside the people we became with time. We were young in the neon summer, hearts alive beneath the color. And though the years have changed our names, the feelings stayed the same. We were young and full of fire, now we carry softer light. But when you looked at me tonight, I saw our old life. Ooh, ocean breathing, sunlight leaving, still remembering. Code blue, room forgotten, heart still beating somehow. The hospital cafeteria stayed awake long after visiting hours break. Coffee burned inside old pots, like memories nobody wants. You stood beside the vending machines, bathed in artificial green, counting coins with tired hands, like someone trying to understand. Outside, ambulances cried in rain. Inside, everything smelled sterile and strange. And in that half-dead midnight glow, you look softer than the world below. You look beautiful beneath the vending machine light, like an angel whole world slowed to your face. You said your mother used to sing old love songs in waiting rooms like this, before the monitors and wires, before the quiet swallowing fire. I bought a coffee neither of us drank. We just watched the neon flicker faint. A janitor pushed his mop nearby, like he was cleaning up the sky. You laughed so softly I nearly broke, like sadness trying not to choke. And every buzzing fluorescent star made your loneliness look like art. You looked beautiful beneath the vending machine light, while the whole hospital shook with night. Doctors drifted down the halls like exhausted ghosts against the walls. The snack machine glowed pale and thin, reflecting tears across your skin. And somehow in that plastic glow, I forgot everywhere else to go. Maybe love appears this way, half alive at end of day, in places built for leaving people behind. You looked beautiful beneath the vending machine light. Now every sleepless neon night feels haunted by your silver stare and the sadness floating there. The machines still hum their frozen tune beneath the artificial moon. And somewhere in that endless white, you're still glowing in the light. Please insert exact change for one more night. She arrives when the city sleeps, through the fog and empty streets. Silver moonlight on her skin, like a dream walking in. No footsteps echo where she moves. The night itself bends around her truth. And every time she says my name, the stars ignite like flames. But in her eyes there lives a fear of morning drawing near. She vanishes with the morning light, fading with the dying night. I hold her close but lose the fight to the sunrise sky. She disappears when dawn begins, like she was never there at all. Still her perfume haunts the wind after the curtain falls. We dance beneath abandoned signs while blue neon floods her eyes. She tells me softly, don't ask why, just love me till goodbye. hurts too much. She dissolves into the day while I beg the night to stay. Even now I hear her voice inside the morning noise. If love was only meant for dark, why did she leave this mark? Why does every dawn I face still ache with her embrace? She vanishes with the morning light, but returns with every night. And though I know she cannot stay, I wait for her anyway. She disappears with the morning skies, like tears fading from the eyes. Still I stand where shadows part, keeping midnight in my heart. Sunrise breaking, cold light waking, gone again tonight. The aquarium closes in 10 minutes, but the ocean never really sleeps. The jellyfish drifted slow as moons inside the glowing blue lagoon. Transparent hearts without a sound, floating nowhere, circling around. He stood beside the glass so still, like someone learning how to feel. Your reflection swayed with theirs, soft electric light in your hair. Outside the city burned in rain, inside the water held no pain. And every silent drifting thing made the whole dark room begin to sing. You whispered to me beside the jellyfish tank, while ghost-like bodies posed in pink. Your voice moved slow beneath the blue, like waves trying to reach the moon. The water painted your skin in light, turning loneliness into night. And for a moment I could breathe, like the ocean remembered me. You told me jellyfish never chase, they just let currents choose their place. I said that sounded too much like us, drifting wherever silence wants. A child's forgotten toy submarine lay abandoned by the stingray screen. Tiny plastic under endless glass, like a future that didn't last. You smiled tight and looked away, as if love might decay. And somewhere in the filtered glow, I stopped wanting to let you go. You whispered to me beside the jellyfish tank, while midnight currents slowly swayed. The creatures bloom like living scars, tiny oceans trapped in jars. Your hand brushed softly over mine, cold as deep sea satellite light, and every pulse beneath the blue felt like the world dissolving into you. Maybe hearts survive this way, floating slowly through decay, still glowing after everything. Inside their artificial moon, and somewhere in that endless blue, I'm still underwater with you. Please do not tap the glass. They scare easily. Open all night, though nothing good ever is. The diner window shook with rain, neon bleeding down the panes, coffee steam and tired light wrapped around the edge of night. You sat beneath a crooked clock, stirring sugar that never stopped. Like maybe if you kept it moving, time wouldn't notice what it's doing. The waitress smoked beside the sink, like she'd forgotten how to blink. And every thunder crack outside made the whole room feel alive. The coffee tasted like the end of the world, burnt and bitter, dark and curled. But your hands around that chipped white cup made me wanna stay awake with us. The jukebox cried and faded blue, playing songs nobody chose. And somewhere in the storm that night, I started needing your lonely eyes. Truck headlights atomic rain. The neon sign burst red and weak, like it could barely speak. Yet when you whispered, "Don't go home," I forgot how to be alone. Maybe love appears like this at 4 a.m. in emptiness, between bad coffee and soft regret, with someone you never forget. The coffee tasted like the end of the world, but you tasted like survival hurt, warm and shaking in the glow of a place too tight to close. The storm kept tearing through the night, but somehow everything felt right. And even now when thunder rolls, I taste your voice in bitter smoke. Open all night for broken hearts and weather warnings. You pulled up under broken lights, engine shaking in the night. Said get in before we lose whatever's left for us to choose. The dashboard glowed electric green, like every ghost we'd ever been. And as the city disappeared, so did half my fear. Your fingers drummed against the wheel like running made us real. Runaway hearts on Highway 9, leaving all our wreckage behind. Through the dark and danger signs, your hand still holding mine. Runaway hearts beneath the rain, trying to outrun the pain. Even if the morning finds we were born to crash tonight. Gas stations blurring neon haze, like forgotten little graves. The radio breathes static songs as the white lines roll along. Your laughing smoke fills up the car, mixing with the midnight dark. And for a moment I believe maybe we could leave, but thunder rolls beyond the hills like fate waiting still. Runaway hearts on Highway 9, Attention passengers. All departures have been delayed indefinitely. The airport smelled like sleeping air, coffee stains and warm despair. Departure boards flickered blue, deleting cities we once knew. You sat beneath terminal light, reading magazines from '85. Your coat draped soft across the chair, like you'd been stranded forever there. Outside the runways drowned in rain, no planes had landed there for days. And every speaker overhead sounded half alive, half dead. We kept missing flights that no longer existed, holding tickets nobody printed, watching destinations disappear. One by one, each passing year, the terminal glowed, pale and cold, like a future growing old. But when you leaned your head on mine, the whole airport stopped in time. You told me you once loved a man who vanished somewhere over Japan. I said I almost left this town, but fear kept circling back around. The janitor mopped the endless floor, like he'd done it all before. The vending machines hummed low to travelers with nowhere left to go. You smiled tight through the neon haze and ruined me in quiet ways. And somewhere near gate 22, I started belonging to you. We kept missing flights that no longer existed, lost between the canceled distance. Every gate, a broken dream lit by tight fluorescent beams. The loudspeakers called no names, still we waited just the same. And when you whispered, "Stay with me," I forgot where I was trying to leave. Maybe love is just delayed in empty terminals and rain, waiting for a sky that never clears. We kept missing flights that no longer existed. Now every runway feels haunted with it. The ghosts of places we never saw still echo through the terminal halls. The departure board still flickers blue, like it remembers me and you. And somewhere past security, our lost hearts still wait endlessly. Final call for nobody at all. The record spins windows in faded blue, same slow song that led to you. Curtains breathing with the rain, and silence dripping down the panes. Your jacket hangs beside the door, like you just left moments before. I close my eyes and feel your hands pull me back into the dance. Every shadow in this room still moves the way you used to. Still dancing with your shadow, turning slow beneath the glow. In the dark where memories flow, I still wanna let you go. Still dancing with your ghost, holding on when I should know. Even after all this time, your heartbeat echoes into mine. The mirror catches empty light, but I see us there tonight, laughing softly, swaying close like two hearts nobody broke. Outside the city drums in haze, but in here we still remain, a frozen frame that won't release, a beautiful disease. And every step across the floor makes me miss you more. Still dancing with your shadow, while the midnight radios glow. Every turn just pulls me through another life with you. Still dancing while the record cries beneath these lonely apartment lights. Even if the music slows, I still follow your ghost. If love can live beyond goodbye, then maybe you'll never die. Inside the corners of my mind, where we still move in perfect time. Still dancing with your shadow as the dawn begins to show. And though the room is cold as stone, I never dance alone. Still dancing with the memory of who we were before the leaving. Even when the song grows low, I still hold your shadow close. Record fading, rain falling, still swaying alone. Three a.m. and the city shakes, neon dripping down the fire escape. Coffee cold beside my hand, while your name stains every page. I write the things I couldn't say back when your eyes still looked my way. Every sentence cuts too deep, like wounds that never sleep. The rain keeps tapping at the glass, like it wants to drag me back. The letter I never mailed, still breathing in a paper jail. Every word too late to say, a love already gone away. The letter I never sent, filled with all my punishment. Even now your memory says, through the letter I never mailed. I wrote about the summer nights, your red dress under motel lights, the way you danced in parking lots, like the world forgot to stop. I wrote about the day you left, how silence crawled inside my chest, how every radio at night still sounds a little like goodbye, and every line begins to blur, like I'm slowly losing her. The letter I never mailed, hidden where the moonlight pales. Every tear upon the ink pulls me closer to the brink. The letter I could not send, still asking how we reach the end. Even now my lonely heart reads it in the dark. If I had sent it years ago, would you still have let me go? Or would we still be somewhere warm, dancing through another storm? The letter I never mailed, still alive beneath the veil. Every word a fading flame, still calling out your name. The letter I never sent lives inside my punishment, and as the morning light turns pale, I fold the love that failed. Stamp untouched, envelope sealed, still yours. Ring, ring. Nobody called anymore, except ghosts. The payphone stood beside the liquor store, bathed in sick neon from the corner. Rainwater pooled around its feet, reflecting broken yellow streets. Every night around 12:30, it rang by itself. No one answered when I tried, just breathing from the other side. Then one night through the static snow, I heard your voice speak low. You said, "Don't hang up this time." And suddenly the city fell to life. The payphone kept ringing after midnight. crackle in the light sounded dangerously like goodbye. The payphone kept ringing after midnight, like loneliness refusing to die. Your laughter trembling through the storm made the cold streets feel warm. The wires sang above the town like tired angels falling down. And every time you said my name, the rain no longer felt the same. Maybe love survives this way, in dying calls and cheap delay. Tiny electric heartbeats in the dark. The payphone kept ringing after midnight, long after they cut the power lines. Still calling from somewhere unknown, still making the empty feel like home. Now every ringing sound I hear pulls your ghost back near. And sometimes in the pouring rain, I swear the phone still says my name. Ring, ring. Ring. Rain pours silver down the street, cold reflections at my feet. The payphone glows a ghostly blue, like it's waiting here for you. I feed the last coins that I own into this dying telephone. And when the ringing starts to hum, I almost turn and run. Then your voice breaks through the storm, and suddenly I'm warm. Last call from the payphone ring, trying to hold what won't remain. Through the static and the pain, I say your name again. Last call underneath the lights, where lonely hearts go late at night. Even thunder knows the shame of love that couldn't stay. Cars drift slowly through the haze, like memories without a face. I press my forehead to the glass, listening to our future past. You ask me if I'm doing fine, I lie and say just getting by. But every breath between our words feels like something dying first. And every crackle along the line sounds like the end of time. Last call from the payphone ring, holding tears inside my veins. Every second pulls apart another piece of heart. Last call before the morning comes, before we turn to strangers once. Even Please wait. Processing memory. The copy shop stayed open through the storm. Paper dust drifting warm under tired fluorescent light that made everyone look half alive. You work the counter every night, wearing headphones colored white, highlight markers in your hair like little neon signals there outside. The avenue drowned in rain. Inside, machines repeated pain. Every copy made a sound like another life breaking down. We photocopied our hands at 3 a.m. Black and white ghost pressed paper thin, side by side beneath the glass, trying to make a moment last. The machine light moved across our skin like it could see beneath us in. And when your fingers touched my wrist, the whole room buzzed electric blue with it. Stacks of abandoned documents sat like forgotten evidence. Divorce forms, resumes unpaid bills, tiny human disasters standing still. You said everything becomes a copy eventually, then smiled like it was killing you softly. I watched your reflection in the screen, blur between machine and dream. A printer somewhere screamed alive at 5:15, and every fluorescent trembling light made me wanna stay all night. We photocopied our hands at 3 a.m. while outside the city caved within. The thunder rolled through broken glass, but we just let the hours pass. A shadow flickered silver white against the endless office light. And for a moment in that place, I thought loneliness could be replaced. Maybe love is just a trace left behind on empty space, a fading outline nobody keeps. We photocopied our hands at 3 a.m. Now every page reminds me of them, two fragile shapes beneath the glow, trying not to let each other go. The machines still breathe their paper ghosts for all the hearts that came too close. And somewhere in that static white, our fingerprints still hold the night. Processing complete. Please wait. Processing memory. The elevator shook once, then died somewhere between the 4th and Fluorescent lights began to fade, while midnight hummed inside the cage. You laughed like it was no big thing, but nervousness was underneath. Outside the storm consumed the glass, while minutes learned to last. And in that little box of light, the world disappeared tonight. Stuck between floors with you, while the whole hotel sleeps through. Two lonely hearts in silver blue, with nothing left to do. Stuck between the rise and fall, listen to the cables call, and somewhere in the quiet gloom, I started falling for you. Your lipstick stained the paper cup, cheap champagne between the us. You told me things you never say in daylight anyway. The emergency light flickered red, like warnings hanging overhead. But every second trapped inside pulled us more alive. Thunder rolled beyond the doors, but I stopped fearing storms. Stuck between floors with you, like time forgot what it should do. Every breath and every glance felt dangerously close to chance. Stuck inside this slowing night, wrapped in artificial light. Even when the power moves, I won't forget this room. If love begins in strange places, maybe fate works in phases. Maybe hearts collide like sparks inside forgotten darks. Stuck between floors with you, as the morning started through. And when the elevator woke, something inside me broke. Stuck between goodbye and stay, watching night dissolve away. Even now I feel the truth, I got trapped inside of you. Cables humming, doors opening. You walk away, still glowing. The stadium lights are fading out, empty cups all scattered around. Engines start like distant waves, pulling strangers away. But we stay underneath the glow, where the hot night lingers slow. Your concert wristband on my hand feels like a final chance, a broken song still drifts from far away, like the night begging us to stay. Slow dancing in the parking lot glow, while the summer wind moves slow. Two shadows underneath the gold, not ready to let go. Slow dancing after everyone's gone, holding on to what won't last long. And in the silence after the show, I still want you close. You lean against my beating chest, like the night knows us best. Streetlights paint your skin in flame, and I whisper your name. Somewhere bottles crash and fade, but here the whole world waits, like time got lost inside the heat between your hands and me. And every little movement you make feels like heartbreak. Slow dancing in the parking lot glow, while the radios echo low. Every breath and every turn makes the old wounds burn. Slow dancing under neon skies, with reflected headlights in your eyes. Even when the dark lets go, I'll replay this slow. If nights like this are meant to die, why do they feel so alive? Why does love burn brightest right before goodbye? Slow dancing in the parking lot glow, as the horizon starts to show. And though the morning steals the gold, I still feel your soul. Slow dancing while the city wakes, knowing something's bound to break. But somewhere in the afterglow, we never let go. Summer fading, music gone, still swaying. Till dawn. Two a.m. and the rain won't stop, neon dripping through the shop. Washing machines spin like time, circling what we leave behind. You sit beneath the buzzing white, reading magazines in tired light. One sock hanging from your hand like a flag of surrender. Then you laugh and the whole room glows, warmer than the fluorescent cold. Love spins in the laundromat light, turning lonely into alive. Two strangers in the midnight rain, trying to wash away the pain. Love spins while the city sleeps inside these humming silver dreams. And somewhere in the spinning white, I start believing tonight. You say your apartment lost its heat, so you came here off the street. I say I did didn't want home. Truth is, I hate being alone. Outside the taxis blurring blue, but the whole room narrows to you. Fabric softener and cigarette smoke mixing with the words unspoken. Every little smile you hide pulls me closer inside. Love spins in the laundromat light, soft reflections in your eyes. Every cycle, every turn makes the old memories burn. Love spins beneath the buzzing signs, like fate killing time. Even if the dawn arrives, I want this night broken hearts can still restart. Maybe this is where they start. Not with fireworks or perfect plans, just wet clothes and shaking hands. Love spins in the laundromat light as the rain fades into white. And though the dryers slowly die, you stay burning in my mind. Love spins while the morning grows, through the steam and neon glow. Somewhere in this sleepless night, you brought me back to life. Machines turning, rain slowing, still glowing. The species disappeared quietly. Most things do. The museum smelled like dust and rain. Old carpet holding decades of pain. Plastic ferns and fossil bones, tiny worlds turned into stone. A broken mammoth towered above, like the skeleton of forgotten love. Its empty ribs caught silver light from flickering exhibits in the night. You slipped your hand into mine, beside the wolves that went extinct in '59. And every glass display we passed looked afraid it wouldn't last. You held my hand in the museum of extinct animals, while dead things stared through painted walls. Your fingers cold against my skin, like history trying to begin again. The dioramas glowed pale blue, fake oceans wrapped around you. And somewhere between loss and dust, I started believing in us. people's footprints down the hall. Ghost too small to haunt at all. You said everything disappears eventually, like you were warning me gently. And smiled beneath fluorescent stars with sadness hidden in your arms. Outside, the highway hissed with rain. Inside, extinction had your face again. And somewhere near the giant elk, I felt my whole heart melt. You held my hand in the museum of extinct animals, where loneliness filled every hall. The frozen birds behind the glass looked like futures we let pass. Your shadow drifted over bones like a ghost returning home. And every dim, forgotten room started quietly making space for you. Maybe love survives this way, displayed behind decay, still beautiful after it's gone. You held my hand in the museum of extinct animals. Now every empty exhibit calls with faded signs and hollow eyes and artificial midnight skies. The fossils still rest cold and white beneath exhausted neon light. And somewhere in that endless dust, the dead still whisper about us. Please proceed to the exit before the past closes forever. The hotel hallways smell like smoke, summer heat and chlorine ghosts. You grabbed my hand and pulled me fast past the sleeping concierge. The pool was glowing electric blue, like it already knew. Two shadows standing at the edge, afraid of what comes next. Then you smiled and slipped beneath, like a secret under sheets. Midnight blue, swimming pool hearts drifting in the dark, water shining on your skin, pulling me deeper in. Midnight blue, beneath the stars, washing away who we are. And for one dangerous moment, love felt permanent. You floated underneath the light, like a dream escaping night. I could hear the city far away, drowning in delay. your wet hair falling down your back, like the night fading to black, and every ripple from your hands shook on my defenses. The moon reflected in your eyes like beautiful lies. Midnight blue, swimming pool hearts breaking softly in the dark. Every touch and every wave felt too good to say. Midnight blue, while thunder rolled, bodies turning silver gold. Even if the sunrise starts, I still drown in your heart. If love was only borrowed time, why did it feel so alive? Why did the water and the light make forever seem tonight? Midnight blue, swimming pool hearts still echoing through the dark. And even when the water stills, I feel your fingertips. Midnight blue beneath the dawn, knowing soon you'd be gone. But somewhere in the fading stars, we still are who we are. Water, trembling sky, turning still, floating with you. Mm.